Major developments tonight in the Trump transition and allegations of Russian hacking.
Yeah, President-elect Donald Trump is questioning the White House's motives in raising that issue now. KCAL 9 political reporter today, Bryan, has that new word on how the incoming president hopes to finance that agenda.
Yeah, this felt a lot like one of the campaign rallies. This is a very feisty Donald Trump tonight. Tonight, the battle lines are being drawn between the Trump transition and the White House over damage from Russian hacking of campaign emails. And the president-elect comes up with a new plan to have foreign countries pay for his projects. This time, it's Arab countries, not Mexico.
We will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country.
President-elect Donald Trump got a roaring ovation from a crowd of more than 10,000 supporters at a hockey arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania Thursday night, pledging to carry out a ban on Muslims attempting to find shelter in the U.S. from troubled regions in the Middle East, like Syria.
To protect our country from terrorism and extremism, I will suspend immigration and refugee admissions from regions where they cannot be safely processed or vetted.
Instead, taking a page out of his playbook for the construction of an immigration-proof wall along the Mexican border to be paid for by Mexico, Trump now says he wants to build refugee-safe camps in the Middle East for Syrian refugees, camps that would be paid for by the oil-rich Middle Eastern countries.
We have the Gulf states. They have nothing but money. We don't have money. We owe $20 trillion. I will get the Gulf states to give us lots of money, and we'll build and help build safe zones in Syria so people can have a chance.
For the first time, Trump took dead aim at White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest.
Although this foolish guy, Josh Earnest, I don't know if he's talking to President Obama, because he is so bad the way he delivers a message. He could say, ladies and gentlemen, today we have totally defeated ISIS, and it wouldn't sound good.
That attack came just a few hours after Earnest delivered tough criticism at a White House press briefing of Trump's see no evil, hear no evil attitude about Russian hacking of the DNC.
It might be time to not attack the intelligence community, but actually be supportive of a thorough, transparent, rigorous, non-political investigation into what exactly happened.
The White House response came after Trump tweeted, if Russia or some other entity was hacking, why did the White House wait so long to act? Why did they only complain after Hillary lost? Earnest argued that claim isn't true, citing an intelligence statement made public in October, a month before the election, citing evidence that the hack attack pointed to Russia. And Earnest suggested Trump may have known about the Russian hacking involvement long before that.
One of his closest aides, Roger Stone, who back in July tweeted, quote, of course the Russians hacked at Hillary Clinton's email. Mr. Trump obviously knew that Russia was engaged in malicious cyber activity that was helping him and hurting Secretary Clinton's campaign.
But the Trump transition team fired back, charging the White House as trying to overturn the election results.
At a certain point, you've got to realize that the election from last month is going to stand, whether it's the recount or continued questions along this line.
U.S. intelligence believes the DNC email hacking was authorized directly by Russian President Vladimir Putin, a charge the Russians adamantly deny. A Kremlin spokesman called the charge phony heresy. But CBS News reports the evidence of Putin's fingerprints on the hacking comes from a variety of sources, and hundreds of people from the Kremlin, the Russian military, and the intelligence directorate may have been involved in the elaborate network of espionage. CBS reports investigators believe Putin wanted to damage Hillary Clinton and sow doubt and create chaos in the election process. Now, a small group of Republicans in Congress have joined with Democrats in the White House, vowing to hold Russia accountable.
We're going to hit you and hit you hard. I'm going to introduce sanctions. They will be bipartisan, that names Putin as an individual, his inner circle, for not only hacking into our political systems, but trying to destabilize democracy throughout the world.
But despite the tough talk, the New York Times reports the U.S. actually has very few options for directly punishing the Russian hacking suspects, since that country doesn't extradite its citizens. And the suspects in this case, or cases like this, almost never actually stand trial. But that doesn't exclude the U.S. from taking action on a broader scale against Russia, like tougher sanctions or launching a retaliatory hack attack. Jeff?